Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my first listen. This time, unlike last time where I took a look at an album, we are taking a look at a band again today. A pretty interesting one from the listen, if you don't know who I'm talking about the American rock band from Los Angeles, California. They're fairly new. They're called The Regrets, spelled a little bit differently because there was this older band called The Regrets where it was spelled right. So obviously they had to change it up a bit. The band is made of 4 members, 3 girls, 1 guy. You have Lydia Knight, she does the lead vocals and rhythm guitar. Janessa Gariano, she does lead guitar and backing vocals. Sage Chavis, she does the bass and backing vocals. And then Max Mirando does the drums. They're all fairly young. I think they're actually all younger than me. The only one's Wikipedia page I can go on is Lydia's, and it says here she was born October 13th of 2000, which makes her 18 years old. I did not think that. I thought that maybe these people were in their early to close to mid-20s. But, yeah, without further ado, let's just get this episode of My First Listen started.
Come through like you say you do. Now I don't need you to, 'cause I don't need you. You don't come through like you say you do. Now I don't need you to, 'cause I don't need you.
So I took a look at 2 of their 3 projects. I know they have an album out coming out August 9th, along with the Slipknot album. I will definitely review that new album that's coming out from The Regrets, but I looked at their 2018 EP, Attention Seeker, and their 2017 album, Feel Your Feelings. So I guess let's start with the EP first, since it's just kind of short. It's 5 tracks, 3 original, and then 2 acoustic other songs, Hey Now and Living Human Girl, which were on their debut album. Yeah, I mean, all 3 of the tracks I like. I think Teenager in Love off of that EP is my least favorite, but then there's Red Light, and then the kickoff track Come Through, and Come Through was the first song I had heard from them, and it was just catchy as hell, and one that I remember just getting stuck in my head immediately, and I think that's what attached me to go, I want to look more into this band, and then maybe even, make a My First Listen about them, because I was just scrolling through YouTube, and they came up on my recommended page, and I'm like, The Regrets, who's that? Because, most of the time, I'll check it out, see if it's actually something that I might want to look more into. But yeah, I mean, you do definitely get, well, I'll get there in a minute. Let's go to their 2017 album, what came before Attention Seeker, Feel Your Feelings Fool, their full-length debut, which came out January 13th of 2017. It says here the genres are punk rock and Riot Girl. It says Riot Girl is an underground feminist punk movement that began in the early 1990s. So that's basically what that, I guess they're all feminists. That doesn't bother me that much. It actually doesn't bother me at all anyway. But yeah, this album is 15 tracks long, almost 47 minutes. And let's just start. The least favorite song off of here was Bronze. Like, it's cool and all, but I just don't feel the same punch as I do with the other songs. Some of the okay songs, A Living Human Girl, which was the first single off of this album. It's more about Lydia talking about herself, how, they expect a girl to just be your stereotypical, girl and stuff, but she's like, one day I can be girly and another day I can be a tomboy or, whatever. So it's basically just her saying, let me do whatever I want to do. I'm, a human being. Hey Now, which was the second single, it's a little bit more doo-woppy for my taste, but it's catchy enough, so, I don't hate it. The song Hot does have some good instrumentals, but nothing great. Till Tomorrow, How It Should Be, and Ladylik, Wattabitch. Once again, Ladylik, Wattabitch kind of is Lydia talking about herself and whatever, how she was like turning down this kid that liked her in her gym class and whatever, and everybody's saying, oh, what a bitch she is, so I don't know. I mean, I get that they're teenagers, so there's going to be some shit they sing about where you're just like, this is a little cringy a bit, but it's an okay song. And then my fave tracks, I Don't Like You kicks it off. Pretty self-explanatory in the title. Seashore was the second song I heard from them, and I do remember this thing being catchy too, and them getting a little bit more in your face with things. Juicebox Baby is a short, almost 2-minute track. Pale Skin, Lacy Lou, Head in the Clouds, Picture Perfect, and You Won't Do, which it says it includes the hidden track Cold, and that one was also decent as well. All those songs and my favorites just packed a punch, and were very fun to listen to. By the way, the EP would get a 4.5 out of 5, and the album would get an 8.5 out of 5, so they were both very enjoyable. Would definitely go back and listen. So what I got from them here was they mess around with a couple of different genres here. Obviously, I think the obvious one would be the more punkish, pop punkish type kind of thing, you know, with the way they go about doing the instruments, just like all up in your face, fast pace. And those are some of their cooler songs. They do indie rock a lot of the time. Songs like Hey Now, you know, is a good example of that. I, you know, realize that they're also kind of noise rock in a way, because there's a lot of bands I feel that have that same like scratchiness to the guitar and whatnot, and the bass is kind of visible, you know. And I know that's like the whole thing of why it's called noise rock, because it's supposed to be loud. I found that. Then there's kind of like a garage rock tinge to them as well. There's just points where you go, that sounds really garagey. Once again, I think it's more of the guitar and whatnot that really does it. And they kind of dive into the realm of indie pop, kind of. I guess that can be same as indie rock, but those were the 5 genres I found that they really, really did well into. And a lot of their songs are about love or failed relationships, which is fine at this point that your relationships are failing, because you're only a teenager. You know, you really shouldn't be thinking too much about love at that point. At that point in your life, but you know, I don't know what really goes on in their life, so who am I to judge? And a majority of their songs are just so catchy. Even the ones where you're sitting back and they start off slow and you're like, okay, this is alright. And then the chorus kicks in, then you see yourself singing along and you're just like, wow, holy shit, this took a turn quickly, but a turn for the best. And it was just something that I can really, you know, say that I highly enjoyed. So really, after some thought, this band is enjoyable. It is. It's probably one of the more enjoyable bands, like, overall. I mean, when I first listened to Paris, I got more into them, but the other 2 bands I kind of covered, the XX and Always, were just kind of, like, very meh at best. Like, they had good singles, but I didn't find a lot of like deep cuts and stuff that I found interesting. But this band, I definitely took a look at their singles, and then I took a look and listened to their album in full and the EP in full and went, well, this song's pretty cool too. This is a non-single, and I gotta say, when that album comes out in August 9th, 2 days after my birthday, so I'll definitely be checking it out, and I will do a review on it, because they just intrigue me that much. So, yeah, this band overall, I'll give them an 8 out of 10. They're just, you know, young teenagers who are, you know, still have improvement to get better in some places, but I think down the line they will. I mean, their first 2 albums, you know, releases, they're going to be as teenagers. So, you know, but that means their next album release, they'll be in their 20s, they'll be a little bit more mature, so, you know, maybe we'll get even better things from them down the line. But an 8 out of 10 for a band like this, because you just never know where these young bands are going to go. And so far, they're doing so good. It seems like they have a good relationship together, all 4 of them. You know, just that hardcore friendship and willingness to just experiment and do all this other stuff. So it seems pretty cool. And the mixture of these meshes of genres really keep you interested and intrigued throughout, so I think the rating is fair. Anyway, you can tell me in the comments below, what do you think of this band? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Or are you going to go check them out now that I'm recommending them to you? Also, if you want, you can put in the comments below a band that you would want me to do for my first listen, you know, so a band that you think I would enjoy, or a solo artist as well. and I will put the playlist of the other episodes above my head right here, so you can watch those. And yeah, that does it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in the next one.